Okay, here's the extended version. Oh, look at that. Had to start with opening Blender there. Deleting this, we're going. Yo, let me turn on the little screencast keys. Is it going? Yeah. Okay, so honestly, this one probably doesn't need an extended one. It's all fairly, what it says in the tutorial. But 25 vertices, radius of 0.2, and a depth of 4. And this just helps you from having to kind of, scale and transform all of it. Kind of just works right out the bat. Although, actually, I might go a little taller. So, Control R, adding a bunch of these edge loops here. You can see down in the bottom left how many we're at. I'm going to go for like 33. And then delete the top here and select the bottom, and we're just going to make that a vertex group. And that's basically just a label that we're giving. We're saying like, hey, this is a group, and so we can use that later. Arms! Yes! I'm going to grab these arms. The arms, honestly, I did not get to 100% with, but they work okay. So I'm going to hit Alt-E, extrude faces along normal. Uh-oh, I've still got the bottom selected. Deselect that. Alt-E, extrude along normal. And you can see that it's extruding each one out along the face, the way it was oriented. So I'm going to cancel that, but they still actually have been extruded. And just hit SX to scale them out. That means it's kind of exacerbating this weird curve here. So I might select those and hit SX0 just to flatten them out. But you don't have to. It's also up to you if you want to like delete the ends off of these. I think on the real tube guys, they've got those deleted. But Control R, add some more of these things here. I'm going to add a ground plane. And under the Physics tab, I'm just going to make it a collision object. And now, ideally, if we hit cloth, this will just crumple. And he does. I'm gonna right click and shade smooth just to make it look a little bit nicer. So that's okay. Cool. I'm gonna add add force field, wind, and I think we have to crank it up really high. Like in the tutorial, I said like 3,000. So let's see. Yep, there he goes. You can play around with this number, and it'll give you lots of different sorts of results. If you feel like doing that. Okay, so now in the cloth settings, let's keep him stuck on the ground by going under shape and setting our pin group to be that group we specified. And now the base is just locked to the ground, and he's doing the thing, but he is kind of like collapsing on himself. So I'm gonna check pressure, and I went back and forth trying to figure out if like target volume or just pressure was better. And honestly, I don't know if I really found out anything, but I like something like this. Cool. And his arms and stuff are going through his head, which is not ideal. So collisions, and check self collisions. And now ideally that won't happen. Sometimes he kind of sticks up at first, and he takes a minute to really get into the swing of things. You can make him go like woo, woo, as if it's like a breezy spring day. Okay, let's texture him. I'm going to go straight to texture paint. Let's go to when he's not distorted here. And tool. I didn't know about texture painting until very recently. No textures? Well, let's add one. Just the base color. I'm going to make it like nice and high res because, we can. And the color, I like a little bit of orange. Cool. And so up here we can make our brush a little smaller. Let's make him kind of sad. Oh, he's too sad. Okay, and fall off. I'm gonna make it a little bit sharper. We'll see what that does. I'm not totally familiar with those tools, but I think it's very handy. Sure. Yeah, some big set eyebrows. Make that little eyebrow thing, little nose, little quivering lip. He's crying with a lot of his teeth just hanging out. he's so sad. And that could just be it. If you're trying to render it all fun. Let's see if we go into like cycles here. And I think it works in Eevee too. Let's see. Here's our point light. Let's turn that into a sun lamp. That's the strength of like 5. And an angle of 0.5 is about real to real life. And if we open up this and click on this, we can open the shader editor. And here's the material we made with his face on it. And here's the shader we're using. I'm going to add another shader, and that is a translucent shader. And I'll go bring those colors up to there too. And then a mix shader, and drag that down. And so now the light is actually shining through him a little bit, which is just adds a tiny little bit of realism. He's falling, but yeah. I mean, I know everybody's been asking. We want to do these Nightmare Men, and so no one's ever said that. But gosh darn, we have a few of these in our town, and you know, life's hard sometimes. You just want to make a little dude, you know, make him dance for you. Dance, little man, dance.